Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Tuesday night, hockey happy hour coming at you like we always do. Special little show for you tonight. We got live reactions tonight of the Flyers and Nashville Predators, and we're catching it from puck drop. That's where the speciality comes into play. Rarely get that. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment in. We're talking about the game. We're going to talk about the Midwest road trip and how they're going to finish out. So come on, guys. It's time to talk some puck. Let's do it.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour live on A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. If you have any aches and pains, go to the Dr. Paul Vidal over at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Make your appointment and then head over to his highly trained team of experts, either in Burlington or Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and you won't have any more aches and pains. And today's poll question brought to you by Baggio's Bread. If you have any events coming up and you want to get some good food from that, you can go to Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Mention HUD Radio for 10% off of your in-store purchase. And now, our poll question: the Flyers will extend their win streak to 5 games. Agree or disagree? And the Flyers have been making quite a case that this will be a possibility tonight as they get ready to face off with the Nashville Predators. Sam Ersson will be starting tonight against Juuse Saros. So, gentlemen, do you think the Flyers get their 5th straight victory? Or does Nashville decide to rain on our parade?
I'll jump in first. I'm going to disagree with this one. I think Nashville's going to get him this time. I know Ersson's been playing a little bit better, but I would have been a little bit more comfortable with Carter Hart in net for this Flyers team tonight. He's 3-0-1 against the Predators. He's got, I think it's a 2 even goals against average against this Predators team. He's just got a good track record, and Sam Ersson, who's been playing really well, I don't know what to really expect from him. I'm expecting a solid game. I'm expecting a close game. My big thing is for the Flyers is staying out of the box. I think if they stay out of the box tonight against top 15 power play that Nashville has at 21%, this is this could be a dogfight, to be completely honest with you. And you know, this Predators team isn't one to really just, shrug a shoulder at anymore. Juuse Saros is one of the best goaltenders in the league. They brought in great leadership in Ryan O'Reilly over the offseason. This isn't the same Predators team that we've seen, so I would have been a little bit more comfortable with Carter Hart. So I'm going to disagree, but I think it's going to be a very close game come the final.
All right, then. Brad, what do you feel?
I think that the Flyers are up against it tonight, and mostly because of Saros. I mean, that he's tough, and he's really tough at home. Yeah, they played great, but I think that they have faced some, shall we say, a little questionable goaltending the last couple of games, and this is going to be a little bit of a test for them, I think. And also it's tough. The longer a road trip goes, the more tired a team gets, and it just, it kind of just wears down on you. I think this could be a kind of a tough game for them to get up for. I've mentioned it a few times about getting up for teams that are, in the other division in the West when you're in the East, especially on the road. Sometimes, you just don't. I mean, they played a great game against Colorado, scored some beautiful goals. So that one where they had the pass to Konechny on the tic-tac-toe one, that was a thing of beauty. That really was. I happened to see that goal. But I don't know. It's going to be tough for them to win this game. I don't have a good feeling about it for them.
Okay.
especially without with Eros playing. That's going to be it's going to be tough. Hart's been great this season, and he's been especially tough on Nashville, and I just think it's going to be tough because they're not going to score a lot of goals tonight.
All right, then. Robbie, how do you feel, brother?
These are all fair points that are being made, but I got my Homer hat on. I got my Homer jersey on, so I'm going to take the Homer stance and say that they do extend this winning streak to 5 games, and they do it on the back of Sam Ersson. Now, as great as Hart's been, and we got down on our knees last week for our beloved son last week, this week I'm doing so for Sam Ersson because over the last calendar month, he's been 3-0-0 with a 1.58 goals against, 9.37 save percentage, and 1 shutout to his tally. So I think he can match Saros tonight. I do agree that it will be a low-scoring game. I think we see Ersson in that, Brian, because they're on a long road trip and give Hart a little mental break, even though they are coming off the off day, and we would have expected Carter Hart to be in net. I think that's originally where we were taking the show. But yeah. Sam Ersson, both goalies have been in a groove, and I think they can keep this team in the game. It's going to boil down to the special teams, Brian. You touched upon it when you drafted this show, when you drafted the description, and I just feel that the Flyers' power play was really starting to click thanks to Mr. Forrester. But they've had a combined 2 power play opportunities over the last 3 games, so it's hard to tell exactly where they're at. But if you look at Nashville's PK, that ranks 24th overall. They're allowing opposing power plays to score in 21 for 90 opportunities. So the top unit could go back to work given the opportunity.
Okay. For me, I am going to go agree. Why? Because you know what? It's time to... I'm going to cheer this team on, saying, you know what? Let's do it. Let's extend this win streak, because screw it. Nashville could go fuck off. Who cares? No one likes Nashville anyway. No one likes the catfish people. They're all a bunch of scumbags anyway.
You mean trash? You mean Trashville?
Yes.
Nashville.
Trashville.
So we got Jake saying, "What's up, boys? What's going on, brother?"
What's up, Jake?
And game is just kicked off here, and interesting that we do have Ersson, like you brought up there, Robbie, that he's in net tonight instead of Hart. Hart has played well, and so has Ersson. So it's good to see both goaltenders playing really strong hockey going into this game tonight and going through this road trip, which was not going to be an easy road trip, but they have managed to really they've gotten everything they could possibly get out of this road trip here. I mean, getting that win against Arizona, I mean, yes, Arizona was playing very well going into that game, and the Flyers just took it and said, who cares? And just crapped all over them. Yeah, basically. And then after that, they took on, we got a penalty already. And it looks like we got a slashing call. And it's going to be on the Flyers, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got the hands on that one.
Gives their power play an opportunity really early on, Brian. To your point, that's what they should not. That's not a key to the game tonight.
No, but the upside to that, the other side of that is they got a top 5 penalty kill in the league. The Flyers do. So killing off heading into this game at 86%. That's a good thing. And on top of it, I believe they're one of the top teams in shorthanded goals as well. So it could still work out for Flyers with the way that they do things. If they get the proper chance, I'm sure they're going to definitely jump off on it and try and spoil the power play by getting a shorty and killing it off.
Right. Well, they look good. They look good 5-on-5, and I think a lot of that comes from, I think we finally got Sean Couturier back because he's playing the minutes, right? So in Denver, he put up 22 minutes of ice time and won 14 of 25 faceoffs. That's the Sean Couturier that we need, and we've really seen him thrive during this road trip, Maddie.
Yeah, we have. And, I mean, we were talking about how Coots was going to be a major factor. By the way, what's going on, Spoopy? it's just one of those things. If he was going to be a major factor to this team's success, we talked about it all before the season began, how vital he was going to be, an opportunity for him to really prove that, hey, the C is mine. That's what they're holding it for. Obviously, they're still holding it up. They'll probably hold it up next year too. And, they're still keeping it open to see who might take it or not. But Coots is, the guy that a lot of people would assume is the next in line, the heir to the throne, so to speak. But that's the thing. We talked about how he was going to have to really show that, okay, that's mine for a reason, because I'm going to be the major factor of this team getting back on track after having 2 abysmal seasons.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it all stems from the vets. We've seen Travis Konechny. His offensive game has just been thriving. Looking really good, just getting into the proper positions, right? And I still don't know how he got found on the first goal in Denver, because what an unbelievable pass, just from Sean to TK. And I mean, that's recipe for success. You got your top line humming, right? And you got to get guys back in the lineup. We see Ryan Poehling being coming off the illness. He's back in the lineup tonight. So hopefully we get a strong concerted effort here against Nashville.
Yeah, I think we will. I think right now, as it's been, the Flyers doing a pretty solid job right now on this penalty kill and making sure that they stymie Nashville's offense a little bit here, kind of get them a little discouraged, and allow them to slow the pace down and then take advantage and take control of the game.
Yeah, they just got to figure out ways to do it on the power play. I mean, outside, I was having this conversation in the Flyers Nation Facebook page. Imagine how good they would be if the power play was actually clicking now. Imagine where their record would be.
I know all the opportunities that they've had.
Right. And the thing that is kind of scary to me is, to Robbie's point, they're starting to click now. They're starting to find their chemistry, and they're starting to make things work. Moving up from dead last to, I think they're 27th now. So they moved up a few places over the last couple weeks.
You could be the Penguins, guys.
Just wait until Cutter Gauthier and
36
Michkov come over. It's going to be huge.
Right. And we got the fam jumping in here. Roska saying, when is the NHL in-season tournament going to happen? Hopefully never. That was really weird when I saw those ads for it's like the NBA is doing an in-season tournament. What?
It was so horrible. It wasn't even a fan incentive. It was a player incentive. It was the dumbest shit ever. It wasn't even that good. The Lakers wound up winning, good for them. But they get to split $500,000 or it's $50,000 or something like that between the players. What a joke. What a joke. Do it in the off season.
Did those games count in the regular season records?
I think so.
We got another penalty being called, and it is on the Predators for what looks like boarding. Or no, I'm sorry. That's going to be elbowing, because he literally shivered him right in the face.
That's right. Time for this power play to kind of start putting things together more consistently.
By the way, guys, did you see that hit on Larkin the other night?
Did not actually.
Yeah,
I was going to talk about that later.
He's going to be out a while. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, he was knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
Me Metal Mike saying, how great was Larry Goodenough, Brad and Robbie?
He was good enough.
Okay.
You know what his nickname used to be?
What?
Izzy.
Izzy?
Izzy.
Yeah. Izzy.
Oh God. Back-to-back horrible dad jokes. Come on, Brad. You're better than that.
but no. I'm not making that up. that didn't come. That's not a Brad special. That's
not a Brad
That's
special.
that's what they used to call him, Izzy.
That's
Oh,
you
God.
should sell a Brad special where you just write 2 dad jokes and then you just send them off to people.
So there you go.
There's your business venture right there. A Brad special.
Good chance so far in the power play for this team. Not really buzzing or really sustaining any good pressure.
So let's see. Stars fans Jackalope saying, was at the Cowboys game. Was fun watching those shitty birds choke against the Dak the God Prescott. Huh. Well then.
Boy.
Ooh, now he's a god. The man just led the league last season in interceptions. Now he's a god.
See,
He's beaten 2 good teams in this season. Now he's a god. Let's stop.
This is why
that.
you can't root for the Cowboys either. It's like, I can't stand the Eagles, as you guys all know. But you know what? I can't root for the Cowboys either because their fans are just as in your face as you guys are. It's like impossible to root. What do you root for if you're not if you're a Giant fan? Like injuries?
Yeah, right. That hopefully
You don't want to see anybody get hurt.
That hopefully the NFL will just give you a charity first-round pick to get a better quarterback.
Hey, listen, we got the chicken cutlets, baby.
Showed it last night.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. He also goes on to say, what's everyone's 5 favorite West Coast 90s goaltenders? Let's see.
You guys are making me think tonight. I don't like this.
West Coast, so obviously Cali and Vancouver. That's pretty much it. Because that's
Colorado
it.
count as a West Coast?
No, because Colorado's a little bit away from the Pacific there. Unless you just mean Western Conference in general. If you mean Western Conference in general, then that changes the whole game. But if we're doing West Coast, then it's like, okay, so it's Anaheim, LA, and San Jose, and Vancouver, and that's it.
Kelly, no, not Kelly Rudy.
Big turnover.
But well, he was the goaltender for the Kings for a while, and he was the goaltender for the Kings when they went to the finals in '93.
Yeah, he was. Except he was an Islander, so that automatically.
So that disqualified him immediately.
He's disqualified immediately because he was an Islander. So that's a tough one.
He had a very strange looking goalie helmet too.
Kirk McLean.
I was just thinking Kirk McLean, Vancouver. Yeah,
very good, very good goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I'm always going to be prone to Guy Bear.
I mean, that was a good choice. Giguère. I mean, Giguère
was in the 90s,
yeah. He got drafted in the 90s, but he didn't play until the early 2000s.
Calgary counts, right?
No, they're like north of Chicago.
But that's the thing, that's the thing.
Is it Western Conference or actually on the West Coast?
That's what I was thinking because he says favorite West Coast. So I was thinking he's meaning strictly the California teams of Vancouver.
I was talking Mike Vernon, maybe.
Yeah.
Mike Vernon,
Mike Vernon, yeah. Artur Zerbe would be for that one because he did play for San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Rudy, I guess. I mean, who else could you possibly come up with on the Kings that was actually good?
Right.
Well, not just that. He was also in San Jose as well. That's where his heyday really was.
It's true.
Gotta hold the puck in the zone, boys.
Grant Fuhrer?
Grant Fuhrer.
Ooh,
yes, he did play for the Kings, did he not?
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did he play for them? But he played for them at the end, didn't he? But he was.
Well, I was even speaking. What isn't Edmonton West Coast?
No,
I don't know my geography too well.
No,
That's what we're establishing tonight.
They're north of Calgary.
Yeah, the only West Coast city pretty much for Canada is Vancouver. That's it.
Damn.
And but Grant Fuhrer does still count though because he did play for the Kings. Although that was towards the end, like Brad was saying, of his career.
All right.
Well, okay. Actually, correction. It was midway through his late resurgence because that was right before he got to St. Louis where he found his game again, and it's like, holy, where the hell did Grant Fuhr come back from?
Oh, he was great at Edmonton, that's for sure.
He certainly was.
He's really good in St. Louis as well.
That too. Let me think here. Kirk McLean for Vancouver. Definitely got to throw him out there. I'm trying to think of other ones that they had in the 90s. It's definitely not Dan Cloutier.
Hey, he was one of my favorites.
Why? Because he gave up softies every chance he got?
No, but every time he gave up a softie, he tried to beat up the guy who scored on him.
Okay, well, that's some redeemable.
Yeah, he
probably. Damn it! Speaking of giving up goals,
sorry,
damn
guys.
it!
I didn't want to give it up. I'm a little ahead.
Oh, I got you.
Unlike some people, Maddie.
So what? It was fun. It was fun torturing you that season. That was a lot of enjoyment in that.
Guys, that's the problem with me with on the Sport Towns. My TV is ahead of everybody. So I'm sitting there during the Philly series when who was it? The center fielder made that incredible catch in the 9th inning against the Phillies. I'm like, what a catch! And they're like, what are you talking about? And then the ball was set, like, he's gonna catch that. I was like, oh, sorry guys.
That's a tough goal to give up there. Gustav Nyquist getting a tip on it, and ultimately looked like it took another tip off of the side of Urson's helmet before going in. So that may have helped with the redirect there, leading to the goal and an early 1-0 lead.
A double doink.
In a sense, yeah.
Oh, that's
in a sense, yeah.
To stop that, and that's puck luck too, guys.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah, that's puck luck.
So Spoopy, this is my street hockey team. Back when I played, they were the Red Wings. So I was on the Red Wings and I was on the Blackhawks. Those were my two street hockey teams. Ironically, not too far apart from each other and historical rivals. Anyway. So
jumping back to the game real quick, Morgan Frost has to do a better job at taking Gustav Nyquist out of that play. He's got to eliminate him there in that slot.
Right. Typical Canucks dork 66 says Wade Flaherty and Garth Snow. Which team was he on? He wasn't on Vancouver. I think he played on one of the California teams. I'm trying to remember which one. Was it?
I forget where he went after the Flyers. Wasn't he an Islander after the Flyers?
I think he was an Islander after he was done with the Flyers.
He was their GM for a while. I know that.
Yes, he was for a good long while.
Did he actually play? Did he play for them though?
Yeah, he did play for them.
Okay.
Did he play for San Jose? I'm trying to remember if he did or not. I don't think he did, but
Soupy said it was on
I
Vancouver.
could remember was from San Jose.
Yeah,
He was on Vancouver?
I thought it was Vancouver.
okay. He was on Vancouver. Okay. Oh, yeah, here it is. Right after he was done with the Flyers, he went to Vancouver from 97, 98 through 1999, 2000. Then he was on the Penguins? Wow, I don't even remember. Wow, he was on the Penguins? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, 35 games. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think he became relevant again till Islanders though.
Right.
I mean, he might have. He had a good year in 98, 99. 900 save percentage, 293 goals against.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's damn good.
Chuck's saying he agrees to the poll. What's up, Chucks? And typical was Troy Gamble was a good one. And Potvin. Yes, that's right, because Potvin played for LA.
Did he?
Yes, he did. He played.
I thought he played in Toronto.
He did. He played in LA towards the back end of his career.
Right.
Okay.
He was an essential part of them upsetting the Red Wings the one year.
Yeah.
Greg saying, "What's up? What's up, Greg?"
Yo, what up, buddy?
And let's see here. Typical Canucks source also saying, "What the hell happened to all the Sens fans saying you're better than Vancouver this season?"
Yeah.
They all kind of went into the brush.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, rough go of it. Rough go of it. The Devils Kings fan saying 5 cities that could support hockey: Wilmington, Delaware; Portland, Oregon; Orlando, Florida; Milwaukee, Wisconsin; and Houston, Texas.
I think it's fun. Number 1 is Wilmington, Delaware. Come on, man. No, but the people that live in Delaware don't want to live in Delaware. The only good thing about Delaware is no tax.
Right.
Isn't there collegiate? The University of Delaware's hockey team pretty good. There might be a good hockey following because of it. I'm not positive on that. I thought so.
Well,
I
I
actually
think you
didn't
are
know they
onto
had
something
one.
there.
I know they got a decent football program, and you can thank Joe Flacco for that.
I agree with Houston. I think the Houston Aeros should be a professional hockey team.
That
I
would
agree.
be cool to see
That,
Houston.
yeah.
I agree. Portland might be all right too.
Yeah.
By the way, what about Stephon Bissett? He played for LA
Oh.
for like 5 years, didn't he?
He did play for LA. Yes, he did. I think it was after Kelly Rudy too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think he came right after Kelly Rudy.
So there you go. There's another
He was
good
the one in
choice.
the. Yeah, he was. I think he went there right after the Nordiques became the Avalanche.
Oh, okay.
Because
Because
he used to play for. He used to play. I think he used to play for the Nordiques, didn't he?
yes, he did.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then they got Roy and they got rid of him.
Yeah, they got rid of him and they got rid of T-Bolt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Swoopy saying, loved seeing Brad helping Brink at the end of the show last night. Very kind.
He needed somebody who's scoring points because he lost. So he didn't even know Dylan Larkin got hurt. I was like, Rob, he's going to be gone for probably a while there.
Yeah.
Why don't you grab Vincent Trocheck? I think he has like 25 points in 26 games. He can't if since he's available in your league, you know.
Let's see. Swoopy
Oh,
saying,
Yeah.
Oh, what a save by
Oh.
Soros.
oh, damn, great opportunity there.
Good patience too by who was that? Atkinson or is that Farabee? I can't really tell. Great patience there. Soros just kicked the leg out and just.
That's rough. The Swoopy saying, I'm very shocked the Flyers are good on the PK with how much their forwards sit back with one of the opposing defensemen get the puck on the back end. There's never no pressure or attack whatsoever.
Yeah, but Tortorella's style is that they play the umbrella. You know, they all kind of fall back towards the middle of the net. You know, and they basically take away the net from you, and that does work.
I mean, and you see the increase in block shots. That definitely shows what kind of style they're going
and
for.
that's his layer style, which
And
everybody says is antiquated, but I say bullshit. Good defense is never antiquated.
No.
blocking shots have never been antiquated.
No, no. Only if you have Alain Vigneault as your coach. Let the goalie see all the shots. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So
Feel
the
free to
Flyers.
blow the freaking whistle.
Yeah,
Or
why?
maybe not. Oh.
Wow, the Flyers were real lucky that they did not get scored on there because they allowed a bad defensive breakdown right off the faceoff too, letting a guy in right in the slot like that.
It's like 7-6 on the ice now.
Right after that complete 10-car pileup they had right there.
Oh, what
chance
a-
for the Flyers!
another good
Oh,
chance.
oh.
guys, didn't you have a scoreboard last year?
Did we?
For one game.
Yeah.
One game.
What happened to that scoreboard? That was the coolest thing. That was like the coolest thing ever.
That was a Ryan Brodo feature.
Oh.
Okay.
So, yeah, good question. What happened to it?
Yeah, I like that. That was really good.
Bruins Pooh Bear Dweeb saying, I lost $2,000 betting on the Eagles to beat Dallas. I'm in the red, fellas. Ooh.
Aren't we all?
Why would you bet against the Cowboys at home the way they played at home this year? They've been kind of stinky. They've been kind of stinky on the road. I mean, they're 3-3 on the road, and they're undefeated at home. I mean,
now I gotta ask though, was that a mistype? What did you really mean 2,000 or do you mean 200? Because if it's 2000, it's like, holy shit.
I would believe 2000.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here what we got.
You
Fish
can bet
Stick
that
Islanders.
you gotta make sure it's a 10-star, lock of the year.
Fish Sticks Islanders fans says, who wants red hot fish sticks? Anyone? We've been playing good round of games, and here no one's talking about our turnaround for the Islanders.
It's true, though.
Yeah, they've been playing better. Yeah, all they did, though, was make the Leafs pissed off, and then they Leafs take it out on the Rangers.
I mean, let's be honest, it's
Thanks,
not.
guys.
Oh, Bryce Harper is in Nashville? Okay. Interesting.
Well, he was in Dallas, wasn't he?
I don't think
okay.
So he's stopping on the way home.
That's interesting. I do love that, though. I love how Bryce Harper is there, and he's just been showing up at the Flyers games and whatnot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? He's trying to make himself a part of the city. Good for him. I mean, that's a real cool thing for him to do.
Right. And let's see here. Oh, okay. Robbie has got a screen here with the score. So, right here.
There you go.
So, let's
See if I can make that a little bigger for y'all.
By the
All
way,
right, brother.
who scored the goal for Nashville, by the way?
Gustav Nyquist.
Okay. Do we get assists?
No.
Okay.
No, not Riley. O'Reilly.
And the Flyers are back on the power play. Fabro getting called for a hook.
Well, there you go.
And they do have it set up. See what they're going to do here. Although they do get a little pass happy on this power play. They always get pass happy. What am I talking about?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, good shot. Didn't get it, though. Close, though.
Mika Zibanejad just scored for the Rangers on that slap shot from the Ovechkin circle on the power play. So maybe that's a good sign for you guys. Rangers cutting it down to 4-2.
Okay. And, well, the Flyers did have a very, they got it right there on the porch of Saros, although Saros made a good save with his stick on Couturier.
Well, that's, he's going to be a tough nut to crack, guys.
True. Where Pecorino left off, Saros picked up.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far behind with him.
And also, let's see.
Ooh!
Oh, almost a good redirection there.
Let's talk about NHL expansion.
The other cities that can be a hockey market or build a hockey market fan base. And that's what was Devils Kings fans was talking about here.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about all this stuff now, and you can have nothing to talk about when we go around the league.
Right. But I will say this. I'm not so sure about the Delaware one. Oregon, yes, I think Portland could work because of just how close they are to Seattle and Vancouver and San Jose. I think that would be a really intense four-way rivalry once the Sharks get better, which will be 2 lifetimes from now. And then you'll also have Seattle that was not the newer team. They'll have a newer team to kind of pick on. So you can kind of have that rivalry going there. And Vancouver, of course, with the way that they've been picking back up now, they've kind of become a bit of a snarl, grittier kind of team with some hard-nosed work to get some wins. So that could be very exciting if they put a team in Portland. Orlando, I don't know. Hockey's funny in Florida. Tampa, yes, has done well. But I think a lot of that is because Tampa has managed to have very relevant teams. And they've done so pretty well through the draft. Steve Yzerman, is one of the big reasons why. And then, of course, in the early 2000s, they won that cup in 2004, but no one expected them to. And then Florida has had the Miami one. Florida has had a rough go of it. They've only recently really started having relevancy. I mean, yeah, they had a little bit of it in the 90s, but they went through a really long drought period where they had a real rough go of selling tickets. So, I mean, if Orlando's going to have a team, they got to be good real quick. They can't be bad for like 7 or 8 years because that's going to really sink that team real quickly.
The one feather in the cap for Orlando, though, is you do get a shit ton of tourism. So if
True.
you're in the area, you're taking the kiddies to Walt Disney World, and you want to catch like your local team coming in visiting the Orlando team. You know what I mean? They could do well ticket sales wise.
That is true. That's a good point there, Robbie, with the tourism. I mean, that was one of the other things that was selling Vegas also earlier on. So, and then that was before we found out Vegas decided, hey, we're just going to have a cheat code and win a cup in 6 years. But I wonder how much that burns up teams that do not have a cup, like Vancouver or teams like Minnesota, that have had long historic fan bases that have just been Buffalo. Yeah. Teams that have they've had great teams in the past, but they just could never get their hands raised in the final. And it's just, here comes a team that wins in 6 years, just right out of the chute.
Okay, guys, my Rangers are back in business. 4-3.
Ayo.
Oh boy.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, well, you know what? They were down 4-1, and they looked terrible in the first period. They came out looking like they mean business in the second period. And
That's why they play 3, Brad.
Yeah, and they got a couple back, so now they're only down 1. And Martin Jones is playing goal for Toronto, so I just feel like if they can get a couple of more good shots, they needed to get 2 back in the second period. That was my thought going in.
Oh, so that's where Jones landed after his trip to Seattle. Interesting.
Yeah, well, what's his name? Their number 1 goalie, I can't remember his name, but he's hurt.
Wool?
Yeah, Wool got hurt. A lot of people got hurt this past week.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a ton of injuries around the league.
Then what was it? The final 2, Milwaukee and Houston. Milwaukee's interesting. I don't think that's necessarily the worst idea in the world.
What about Quebec City?
Well, again, that would require a lot of rearranging of the league. I think he was looking at it. Well, okay, yeah, but then why'd he throw up Orlando? And Wilmington? Because I thought he was keeping it west. Then I was no way. No, he's not. Orlando and Wilmington are in the east.
Wilmington, no way. Come on, they're too close to the Flyers.
That and Washington.
Between them and Washington, no, that's like, well, why don't you just bring back Hartford, for crying out loud? So all the Bruin fans and Ranger fans will sit there laughing at how nobody goes to the games.
Turnover.
Oh, saved by Saros. Great chance there on another power play opportunity for the Flyers. Nashville's been getting into a lot of penalty trouble. Not that it really means all that much against the Flyers, but it certainly is a problem that they were doing this against other teams.
Here's another here's another city that really should have a team, is Kansas City. They have a rink. I mean, they built a rink, and they've been trying to steal somebody for the longest time now.
As long as they have a solid team, I mean, again, that was the reason why the scouts didn't work, because they had a really terrible team, and ultimately that's why they wound up moving to, I believe that's when they moved to Colorado, and then after they moved to Colorado, they were still a crap team, and they were a crap team when they got to Jersey too. So
yes, they were
very consistent team with that team.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, I mean, if Denver gets a second chance, why not Kansas City?
Sure.
Possibility.
I mean, they're good fans out there. Look how they support the Chiefs.
And it would count towards being in the West, because it'd be Kansas City and Nashville's still in the West. So you would have a situation where, okay, you can put a West team in. You have to take a team out of the Central and put them into the Pacific Division. But I think you could do that. You could probably take one of the teams out.
Yeah, or Des Moines.
Des Moines. Put a team in Iowa.
You know what? I mean, there's a big population there. I just, it's a cold weather city.
So then we'll throw a team in Saskatoon.
You know what?
We'll also call them the
Blues.
We'll have 2 Blues teams.
They have a team in Winnipeg, for crying out loud.
Right. So
And
now
Columbus.
You put a team in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
We're putting a team in Des Moines. We might as well put one in Saskatoon.
Yeah. All right. Good point.
Getting back to Saros there, making that excellent save over his last 10 starts. He's 8-2-0 with a 2.34 goals against average and a 9.24 save percentage. So he's been playing strong hockey for Nashville.
Yeah, he's tough. And you know what? You got a road weary team in the Flyers. You know, listen, guys, it's hard to play on the road.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to play. It's hard to go on those those long road trips.
True.
And I mean, to win the game in Denver, you guys realize how hard it is to win there?
Right. Max effort. They were coming strong in that game.
Not only are they a good team, a really good team, obviously, okay, but it's hard to play there with the thin air, and most teams die in the third period when they go there. That's a real problem for a lot of teams, and you got to give the Flyers a ton of credit for doing that.
Leafs fans, he's saying, so Vancouver can choke on a turkey leg. Okay, that's a funny response. But but before we dive in, before I make comment on that,
that's not offside. Stop it.
Oh, great.
Phone bitch.
Gotta love that. Just sucks all the momentum right out of it. Thank you, ref. All right, so before we jump any further, do the first period, since we are reacting to the Predators-Flyers game. And that is brought to you by, if you are looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change of career in brokerage, contact Alan Foy at eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820, or visit him at alan.foy at exprealty.com. All right, back to it, fellas. And right now, it is still 1-0 Nashville here with 1:17 left to go in the first. Nashville pressing hard.
They got lucky there. Got a puck to bounce up. Erson didn't see it. Went up and over the net. Thank God. They can't afford to go down 2-0 after the first here.
No, that would suck the wind right out of them.
Yeah, they need to score next. You don't want to get down 2 on the road. Not against a goalie like that. It's going to take a lot of work to get 2 goals against them anyway to win the game. So,
right. Let's see here. Penguins guy Crosby fan said, "My uncle ran into Garth Snow at a Tom Petty concert back in 2002. Interesting."
Tom Petty? You mean Tom Petty?
I think he meant Tom Petty. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
But
by the way, the Penguins finally scored on the power play, gentlemen.
Oh.
They are now 1 for 37.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, we were talking about this 2 weeks ago before I went to the West Coast last week. I was telling you that they hadn't scored a power play goal. What's it been, a month? 37 power plays. You know how long it takes to have 37 power plays in today's NHL? And what do you get? Maybe 3 a game these days?
Well, it's tough. Flyers have gotten 2 power plays over the last 3 games.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I wonder if it's been a whole month since they scored a power play goal. That would be hilarious.
Right.
Couldn't happen to a nicer group of guys.
Right. Bruce is saying $2,000, and I have to get a Dallas Cowboys today via my wife. She's a tattooist. Oh my God. That is a bad bet loss right there, my friend. Ooh.
I think the tattoo is worse.
Yeah, because now you're stuck with that.
Not only are you stuck with it, but isn't it kind of painful to get one of those?
It can. Depends on where. Depends on how long you're sitting there.
Yeah. So let's see. Pain, an ugly tattoo, and $2,000. Wow.
Well, I mean, let's put it to you this way. I sat for 6 hours with that. It probably took about 5.5 hours for it to hurt.
But that's like a work of art, though.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Cowboy. Ain't no shitty star.
There ain't no shitty star.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a freaking Dallas Cowboys star. You walk around most places, and people see that, people are very animated when it comes to the Cowboys. They either hate them or they love them. And, but more people, I think, hate them than love them.
What do you call that? You call that a polarizing team, I think is a good word to use right there.
Yeah, that's really good actually. You hit the nail on the head.
Thank you. It's that word of the day calendar. Comes in handy every now and again. All right then. So let's see here. Besides Bruins, do we kind of making mistakes there? We got Nick Strychars saying smart move if he snagged season tickets while they're on discount. Obviously talking about Harper.
You being Harper. There you go.
I don't even think he needs to. I think he'd just be like, hey, man, I want season tickets, and they'll just hand them to him, and he doesn't have to pay a cent.
Even if he has, he's got more than enough money to pay for season tickets.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even think it puts a dent.
Not even close.
No, and he could probably, make a couple appearances in a restaurant and get paid for it.
He actually could probably get season tickets through most of the league, if not all of it, with what he gets paid. He probably could, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
The Goathead Saber saying, so we are trash this season. Who wants stale buffalo wings, fellas? My treat. I'm always down to watch the Sabres lose, so you know what? Sure, I'll take a couple. And he also says, speaking of future hockey expansion, here's my 5 cities. Oh boy, here we go. New Orleans, Albuquerque, Oklahoma City, Quebec City, and Cleveland. Now,
I like all 4. I like all 5 of those.
Now, I do believe New Orleans was tried by the WHA way back in the day. But as we all know, the WHA was doomed to fail pretty much from the start. So that didn't last very long. New Mexico's never had a hockey team, so that's interesting.
They've never had any professional teams.
No, none whatsoever. Oklahoma City has the Thunder for basketball. So I guess you could try and do a hockey team out there as a companion to that. Could try that. Quebec City, obviously, and Cleveland does have history with hockey going back to the WHA again with the Crusaders.
Yeah, and the Barons for one season.
And the Barons for that one season. But you could be forgiven forgetting that unless you are a historian of hockey. You probably didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, I was alive when it happened.
It was a disaster, to say the least.
Well, you know what? The team had no money.
Right.
So, the only good player they had on that team was Dennis Marook. And, and I think they traded him in the middle of the season to, was it Detroit, maybe? And, nobody went to the games because every good player they had, they either traded or let go to the WHA. So that, that was it. One and done. And then Minnesota got half their players and, and ended up getting to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yep.
That's what happens when you combine 2 teams.
The last team to contract in the history of the league. It has not happened since.
No.
Probably will never happen again because leagues tend to be a little bit smarter than that, or they tend to find cash to fuse a team together like Arizona to keep them going after move. Yeah.
Yeah,
mostly it's moving.
Just disintegrate a team is really hard to imagine. Nowadays, though, I mean, it costs so much money to buy a team.
Right. It would be crazy to even think about a team leaving. I don't think any of the leagues would really. I don't even think the NFL, even with their lowest drawing team, they would never even be considered.
Jacksonville?
Well, yeah, but I don't think there was that. Has there ever been talks about getting rid of them? Period, just contracting and getting rid of that team altogether?
No, they moved to London before they contracted.
Yeah,
right.
Relocation, yeah.
Right. Which, I mean, I've heard that that's kind of like a thing that's going to happen is that they're eventually going to move to London, which is pretty funny when you think about it.
Yeah, but boy, those road trips are going to be tough.
At least it's only on a Sunday.
Yeah, but can you imagine having to go to the West Coast from England? I mean, how do you get there? What, do you fly over the North Pole?
So Canada.
Asking. I'm not good with geography, guys.
So you fly over the North Pole called Canada, and you find yourself on the West Coast.
Yeah, I
The
guess.
bottom half, where we failed geography.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We yield to the
Yeah.
top half.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you. I mean, no, and you'd end up in China if you did that. Would you? Or am I wrong? No, I'm wrong.
Well, I was almost thinking if you flew out east and went over that way to the West Coast, but that has to be longer.
Yeah, because then you have to go through Europe and Africa.
You'd have to make at least, I think, 2 stops in Russia to refuel.
That ain't happening.
Well, they could just go to the East Coast city of Vladivostok and
Yes, keep it moving. Yes,
Yeah,
keep it
they can
moving.
stop in Alaska.
yeah, just refuel in Anchorage and
There
then
you
just
go.
take off there.
Take Alaska Air. I saw that plane in San Diego, Alaska Airlines. I was like, I bet there's been a few icicles on those wings.
Maybe
Makes
they
sense. Want to get away from the ice, go down to San Diego. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. As Swoopy's saying, think of cities with other major sports that don't have hockey.
San Diego. Speaking of San Diego,
Cleveland or Cincinnati are major sports cities. The
Cincinnati's
Reds.
too close to Columbus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
probably would be a problem, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, because probably 3/4 of Columbus's fan base comes from Cincinnati.
Yeah, bring the Thrashers back to Atlanta. Yeah.
In Kentucky, yeah.
I mean, they did build that new arena in Atlanta, and the owners of that arena do want to bring a team from the NHL back there. But question is would they do that? So we're saying Atlanta
Would that
failed.
be fair, though? Would that be fair for Atlanta to get another shot, a third shot?
Here's the thing, though. I could totally see the NHL doing it. As weird as that may sound, I could see them putting a team in Atlanta again before putting a team in Quebec City.
Yeah,
I could totally see that happening, to be honest with you. They would do that before they bring the Hartford Whalers back. They would do it before they would do anything. They would probably put a team in Providence, Rhode Island before they would bring back the Quebec City team.
Well, there already is one, the Providence Bruins.
Right, but that's an AHL team.
True. But yeah, I don't think the Bruins would be too keen on that.
No, they would not. They would be very pissed off.
Yeah.
Penguins fans saying Salt Lake City, which was a lot of talk about Salt Lake City.
That's not a bad spot.
I mean, it hosts the Olympics, and that was a big deal over there, so could do it. San Diego, the Gulls do exist there as a minor league team, so the team does have some history with the game. Cincinnati, Baltimore. So,
Would Washington let that happen?
good question.
I mean, they play in Landover, Maryland, so
And then you have Anchorage. That would
That's my favorite. I like that one.
Ooh.
They have to be mystery.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're a hockey player, let's say you're playing in Florida, how would you react if you got traded to Anchorage?
Oof.
Would you just retire?
Yeah.
That you might.
Yeah, it's like instead of send them to Siberia,
Yeah.
send them to Anchorage, or
Yeah.
in the NHL, it's always send them to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Swoopy said, Nick saying, Swoopy, third time is a charm.
For Atlanta, yeah.
What happened too?
El Nordique saying 5 cities: Baltimore, Memphis, Cleveland, Atlanta, San Diego. What's crazy is he does not mention Quebec.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking truth, unbiased.
Oh,
Memphis, I don't know about Memphis, because I mean
it's close to Nashville.
there's been talks about the Grizzlies not even sticking around in Memphis. So I mean it's just I don't know if Memphis would be the choice there.
Tell you, the clear choice is the Houston Arrows. Make it so.
I agree with you
And
wholeheartedly
Dallas
on
could
that.
definitely use a arch rival too.
Mm-hmm.
True. I mean, the closest thing I think they've had to it has been arguably the Red Wings and the Avalanche, and that goes back to the early 2000s and the late 90s because Dallas was the number 3 team in the West the whole time.
Yeah, no, if they had Houston to play against 4 times a year, That would be pretty fun.
Although I think Dallas also has a bit of an issue with Edmonton, but I think that goes back to their days as North Stars. Swoopy saying, "I'm not doing a city with no other major sports teams." Although they did do Vegas and that worked out, so
Yeah, now Vegas has 3 sports teams.
probably
They're
going to
gonna
have
the A's.
Oakland too.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what basketball team they steal.
Be funny if they stole the Thunder.
No, I have a feeling they're going to steal the Hawks. What do you think of that?
So
Ooh.
no teams in Atlanta besides the Falcons and the Braves. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they never. Have you ever seen Atlanta filled up?
To be honest, I can't even tell you because I don't watch basketball. So
No, I know you do. You do, Robbie. Have you ever seen Atlanta? Like I've seen the Knicks play there, and I mean, there's always more Knicks fans there than Atlanta fans, which is kind of embarrassing when it's that far away.
Always. Atlanta basketball doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Nordic saying, "How about put another team in Toronto?"
There has been steam for Hamilton. Yeah.
True, very very true.
That rivalry, oof, that'd be fierce. That goes back bloodlines.
yeah. Montreal and Toronto are a pretty good rivalry.
They are.
Yeah, it used to be a lot nastier back in the day, but
Well, back when there were only 6 teams.
oh yeah, that,
Not uncommon to see the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Finals back then.
no, but the Canadians would always win.
True. Although the one year that they had the World Expo, hence why the Montreal Expos were called what they were.
Right.
That
was when they won. That's the last time they won.
The Maple Leafs won, yeah, because the Canadians were supposed to win. They even had their whole display set up with a spot for the cup. How embarrassing! They lose in the final and they have to move the spot to Toronto's. Oh, let's see here.
Ooh.
What are you saying? What was
I
that?
was looking at the shots on goal, 15-7. I didn't realize it was that much in the Flyers' favor.
Okay, well, hopefully that bears fruit in the second period.
Yep.
Joe saying, "What's up, guys? I ain't watching. They play better when I don't watch."
You and me both, brother.
Yeah, Flyers fan 95's here saying, "Sup, fellas? The gang's here already." Yes, they are. And he also says, "Can we talk about how well the Lehigh Valley Phantoms have been playing and our junior prospects developing? Denver Barkey, Oliver Bonk, and Cutter Gauthier are lighting it up red hot, especially Mitch Goff. We talked about it last week, and there's a lot of excitement here in the pipeline for the Flyers. I mean, they still have some great prospects waiting to pop up. And yes, the Phantoms have been playing very well."
Who's the guy on Boston College now? I forgot.
Gauthier.
Gauthier, yeah. Yeah, they got some big time prospects for sure.
Yeah. Bonk's been paying off too. I mean, especially if you want to consider him a potential steal for this draft. I mean, Danny Briere's got his chest puffed out over that kid, and Barkey as well. You know, and that's why he's going on and saying that despite how well the Flyers are doing, that they're not changing their game plan. You know what I mean? This is a rebuild. You know what I mean? So that's why I still think that this team won't add on pieces if they're somewhat on a fringe playoff spot. You know, but it's just nice to see, you know, like getting early results and early camaraderie and the competitive, just to compete on all levels is just, it's so great to see. I can't tell you how many, you know, casual Flyers fans I've been seeing writing Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, how much this team is just fun to watch again.
Absolutely. And it keeps getting more exciting. The more you realize, wow, and there's still kids in the pipeline. There's still kids coming up that are going to be such a difference maker for this team. And by the way, in case anybody's wondering, Oliver Bonk is the son of Radek Bonk, who was a former NHLer.
First round draft pick.
Yes. Who did he play for, Oliver? Radek Bonk. He played for... Did he play for
Ottawa,
the Rangers?
Right?
He played for Ottawa, yes.
Ottawa.
Islanders as well?
Yeah, I think he did play for the Islanders. But he
That's
played for
the
Ottawa.
New York team. Okay, that was the New York team. But you are right. He did play for the Ottawa Senators back when the Sens were considered a cup contender, which seems like a lifetime ago with how it's been over in Ottawa. And let's see here. Flyers fans saying, "Ooh, we talking NHL expansion cities?" He's throughout his Baltimore, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. Seen a lot of Oklahoma City love recently. A lot of Baltimore love. He's got an interesting crop of cities here. Again, not a lot of love for Quebec City. That's interesting to think. Maybe it's because reality set in that the NHL is probably never going to put a team there again.
No, I have to admit I was wrong. He was not an Islander. He was a Senator for most of his career. You guys were right. He played 2 years for Montreal, and Radek Bonk finished his career with Nashville.
Oh, he played.
No,
for
I don't
the
remember
Predators.
that.
Years.
Interesting. Was that when the Predators? That must have been when they had like Jason Arnott and early 2000s when they were a team that was just starting out as an expansion squad. Oh my God, it's his ass. Damn, dude.
Dude, yo, send these pictures to Tommy Arnaud, man. We'll get you at least some publicity for your troubles.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Hit him up Wednesday nights, Sunday nights. Agree to disagree.
Right. And let's see here. If they say, I want to see Brad get a tat and say I love Soto.
Yo, he's going to be my number one target in fan.
It's be more of a you got more of a chance with it being Judge, guys. I love Judge.
Yeah, agreed. That would be the tattoo. But in terms of Soto, man, I'm gonna be all over him come fantasy season, dude. He's just perfect for that ballpark.
Oh, can you imagine? Because he could also, he's got power to left field too, so it's not going to matter if it's right field or left field. He's going to hit more than 13 home runs at home.
Yeah, exactly.
He only hit 13 home runs in San Diego last year.
Right, he's never been like San Diego is a very big pitcher's park. Now, Nationals Park has played well to hitters, but not for lefties.
No,
with that bigger wall in right field. So I think this is going to be his best home ballpark for certain.
Well, you know what? Doug Minkevich last night mentioned something which is interesting. He said, hopefully for the Yankees, Soto doesn't see that wall and decide he's going to pull everything.
Yeah.
He said he said himself that whenever he got to Yankee Stadium, he noticed the wall.
Yeah.
They all do. All the left-handed hitters see that wall.
Yeah, you'd like to see him hitting all fields, but it worked out well for Rizzo, though. He tailored that swing to the ballpark. Yeah.
Yes, it did. If he stays healthy this year, he'll be fine.
So if Soto's just taking walks and hitting homers, he'll be like Barry Bonds reincarnated.
Yeah, it depends. Is he going to be batting in front or behind a Judge?
Right. I do 3,
I would
4.
put Soto before. I put Soto second and Judge third.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
Then you have to pitch to Soto.
Yeah.
You have to. And you sure as heck can't bring in a lefty because then the lefty's going to go pitch against Judge and Stanton.
So the second period has started, and Anthony's expansion cities were Wyoming, Montana, Green Bay, Hawaii, and the Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands?
I would assume the U.S. Virgin Islands.
No, there's not enough. They don't have enough people living.
I don't think there's enough population for them to fill an actual stadium on the Virgin Islands.
No. Maybe Hawaii. But that's asking. That's asking a lot.
And then Green Bay, would they still be called the Packers? Have that bright green jersey with darker green as the jersey colors?
I don't know. Football is a little different than hockey.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But could you imagine?
Green Bay used to play. Green Bay used to play a couple of games in Milwaukee every year back in the day.
Oh, that's interesting. What's up, Chrome? Say, my boys, Flyers will pull this one out, so he agrees to the bowl. Nice. And
well, the key is get the first one.
Right. So
you got to break down the brick wall first.
So before we go any further, gentlemen, we are going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue our live reactions to the Flyers and the Preds, and we're also going to talk about the Midwest trip that the Flyers have been on and what we've seen from them. But until then, guys, we will be taking a quick break. Here is a word from our sponsors. Check them out.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My Nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom-reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
All right, back to it here, and bring back up the scoreboard here. This is the second period has begun. Still 1-0 Nashville here in the second. Though the Flyers have had their opportunities. They had a couple while the commercials were going on. Unfortunately, could not get the puck into the back of the net. But, hey, keep Pepper and Saros. Eventually something's going to go into the net. But the point is just don't let up. Just be as aggressive as you can be. Shove the puck down their throat. And
Flyers now doubling up Nashville in shots, 19-8.
wow.
That's severe. A severe. They're playing them severely.
Right. But again, just inadequate power play 0 for 3 on the night.
Right. So, gentlemen, let's talk about how the Flyers have been on this Midwest road trip. We've talked about it a little bit right before we dived into what wound up being Expansion City talk. It's funny how things wind up going here. One thing gets mentioned in the fam, and then next thing you know, that's most of the show. But so into the Midwest recap we go. Flyers obviously starting it out in Arizona, and it looks like the Flyers are going to have a penalty called on them. Most likely hooking will be the call. And it doesn't matter. Called off because it's a 2-0 lead now for Nashville. Bad break for the Flyers. Oh, that's a rough one. That's a real rough one to swallow. Karen, I believe, gets that goal. Jeez. So the first shot gets blocked in front, and then it just finds its way to McCarron, who just he's right there in the slot.
More puck luck.
Right. He's right there in the slot, shoots it right on top shelf. Erson's already down in the butterfly. Yeah, there's nothing you could do about that.
Down and screened.
Yeah. So, fourth goal of the year for Michael McCarron, and the Flyers are now down 2-0.
Not the place you want to be in. Certainly going against a strong goaltender, but it all starts with the next shift, and we've seen this team, respond well with the next shift. Let's see if they can get that going right now.
Hopefully. Although Swoopy does bring up something interesting, that they touched the puck. So if the Flyers did touch the puck, then that whistle should have blown. So technically, that goal shouldn't
I think they can redo that.
They can touch it. They have to have possession.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They never have possession.
All right. right, so let's see here. Midwest trip. Pick this back up here. Arizona. So the Coyotes dominating Ingram, the man of the hour, and just crushing former Stanley Cup winners and just wrecking them left and right for the Yotes. Flyers come in and say, that's cute. Doesn't mean a thing, though. So then, oh, wow, what a chance for the Preds. They almost made it 3-0.
Smelling blood.
Yep, they are. So, gentlemen, starting off this road trip, going up against a team that was playing really hot, what was the thing that you felt the Flyers did that just ultimately swung that game into their favor? Because really, most of that game, it was never really in doubt that the Flyers were going to get the job done there.
They jumped on him early.
They did jump on him early, and it's been TK. I mean, his shot's been funny, right, lately. So he hits the Arizona netminder high up off the shoulder, and it just careens over him back into the net, right? Real top spin on the puck, it really looked like. And then again, against Colorado, against Prosvetov, it hits him square in the pad, and then trickles over and hops over and goes into the net. He is just putting some interesting tweaks and topspin on his shots. Now 16 on the year. You're talking about career year for TK.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been phenomenal. I think it was the next game he was trying to get a hat trick and it just didn't work out. But still, the fact that we're even talking about that tells you the kind of season he's having.
16 goals is phenomenal for this time of year. I mean, Matthews leads the league with 20, so I believe. I don't think anybody has more than 20, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Matthews is the first one to hit 20. He did it tonight.
I mean, I would hope he would be leading the league in goals. He got hat tricks the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah. Hey, guys go through droughts, though.
That's true. So, after getting that victory against the Arizona Coyotes, strong victory, beating Connor Ingram, who really, like we said, was the man of the hour out there. They go to Colorado, and they got to play in the Pepsi Center, although I don't think it's not called the Pepsi Center anymore, is it?
The Ball Center.
I'm still going to call it the Pepsi Center. It's much more fun. So, anyway, the Colorado Avalanche, they're tough team to go up against no matter what setting you're facing them in. You go into their building, team that won the Cup a couple years ago, and you got to be thinking to yourself, like, how the hell are they going to pull this one out? But the Flyers do, and they look good doing it. It seemed like, wow, they're on the level with Colorado. It's like, wow. It's like, excuse me, was this the same team that was just dunking on people a couple years ago, and now the Flyers are competing with them like they always were on their level? It's like, what is going on here?
Yeah. The Avalanche had been scuffling, though, over the last 4, going 1-2-1, so not playing their best hockey, but you really saw McKinnon take that team on his shoulders, and they were coming in that game. But the Flyers, again, the young guys had an answer for everything, just a really resilient group, and anytime that they would have offensive pressure, it would cause their defense to pinch, leading to an odd man rush for the Flyers, and we saw them bury 2 goals in that fashion.
True. Very, very true. I mean, it's good to see that the Flyers are just finding ways to win, and they're just going in there taking advantage of maybe a Colorado team that's not feeling it, and you should. If you're going to go into another team's building and that team's kind of been, like you were saying, Rob, having a rough go of it, got to take advantage of that. Got to take advantage of a team that's not having the best beginning to their season.
Yeah, you jump on them early. That's the key.
Mm.
And you deflate them early, and you jump ahead, and then they start taking chances, and and you catch them on odd man rushes, and it snowballs from there. That's the key to winning on the road.
Gotcha. And now the final matchup that we have here against Nashville. Yeah, right. Or did they have one more in between this? No, I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So those have been the 2 games so far, and this pretty much finishing it up. Let's talk about how the Flyers just been road warriors this year. You know, they go out on the road and they're not intimidated at all to go into any building. They walk in there with the confidence that they can walk away with 2 points. Got to give them credit for that. I mean, doesn't matter who they're facing, whether it's a team that's playing hot like Arizona, a team that should play better in Colorado, or a team that was pretty terrifying in LA. And another example, you go and face your rival in Keystone State. Doesn't matter if they weren't playing all that well going into that home and home. You still got to play them in Pittsburgh, and you still got to go into their building, take 2 points away from them. They still did just that. So let's talk about that, man. The Flyers just been killing it on the road and have not been intimidated by anybody.
Yeah, pretty good record to start the year at 7-4-1 on the road.
I think
they almost beat Vegas too, didn't they?
They did beat Vegas.
No, on the road. I mean,
they didn't play Vegas on the road yet.
Oh,
I thought they did. I thought they lost by a goal.
No, that was in Philly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, Maddie, I think you said something that was key here, and that was the fact that this team is playing with confidence right now. And you can see it on the ice, whether it's on the road or at home. They're just playing a really strong brand of hockey right now where they're supporting each other. They're playing for each other. You see them supporting each other on any puck battle for the most part. Anytime a player gets into a scrum, all 5 of them are right there defending their teammates. This is a team that's bought into each other, and you're seeing the results of that. They're playing confident hockey. They're playing strong brand of hockey, and they're winning games because of it.
That's true. That's true. Now, Me Metal Mike has an interesting theory. He said, did the Fly Guys get that powdered bag full of magic?
Yeah-yo!
Knowing the NHL's history with that powder, it's not the craziest theory in the world.
Yeah.
Mimo Mike says teams also that should worry about their record for the playoffs. Tampa Bay Lightning, shocking how that franchise is becoming mediocre again and falling fast. Thoughts?
Yeah. Bazzi coming back from injury has looked pretty shaky. You know, and unless he finds his game, I could see Tampa Bay on the outside looking in the playoff picture because there's a lot of teams playing good.
It's been a weird year for Tampa. I think most of that is because of the fact that, you know, like you were saying, Rob, injuries and not really firing back on all cylinders. It's weird to see Tampa like that. You know, it's been a while since Tampa's really looked vulnerable.
Yes, sir.
So we're saying that Hathaway had control.
No, he didn't. In order to have control, you have to have a stick. He had no stick.
So with that, gentlemen, was there anything major you guys wanted to touch up on for the Midwest run that the Flyers have been on here that they're finishing up tonight?
Farabee, I think, took a lesson from his benching. His comeback has looked strong on this trip. Definitely getting solid play from all 4 lines. Good to see.
Right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Again, the penalty kill, just figuring out ways to kill penalties and keep themselves in all these games. You know, you're going up against some of these tough power plays, and I know Arizona doesn't necessarily have a tough power play, but they got guys who can score goals, and Logan Cooley's been one of the stories this year. Rookie out of Arizona, I believe he was the number 3 overall pick a couple years ago. Having a pretty solid rookie year. So, I mean, killing penalties helps win games. So, you know, that's a huge thing. And hopefully it continues moving forward and they stay in that top 5.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, hey, that's a good thing. You know, the Flyers, they get into penalty trouble, but they're able to handle it, and that's a good thing to see. Now, like I believe Rob and Bri, you were saying earlier, now we just got to get the power play working, and then this team is golden after that. So let's see here. Next up, we'll go to the third period. And the third period tonight brought to you by Alonzi Travel. If you have any vacation plans that you'd like to put into motion or have an idea of a nice spot for your family or yourself even to get away from, Alonzi Travel is the perfect place to go to. They specialize in creating the vacation of your dreams. Whether it's to Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls to, let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you. By the way, the two gentlemen that you would want to see on that is both Chucks and Ritz. They both are the experts on making plans for you in your vacation dreams. So now, third period, looking ahead, Flyers, of course, still have a lot going. They still have a lot of work to do. And right now, Hathaway just got called in the penalty, and he is none too happy about it.
Bullshit.
And we'll see in a minute what that call was as they went to break. But in the meantime, as we take a look forward for what the Flyers have on the docket, of course, Thursday they will be taking on the Capitals, welcoming the Capitals back to Philadelphia. And
Capitals have been playing well this year. A lot better than a lot of people expected, especially without Backstrom.
Right. And with a kind of human Ovechkin, it's interesting to see. And then you have the Detroit Red Wings on Saturday, also coming into Philadelphia, and that will take care of the rest of the week. The next week after that, the Flyers go back on the road.
Well, they might be able to take advantage of Detroit because Larkin probably won't be playing.
Right. And then next Tuesday, which we will have a chance to live react to, the Flyers will be in New Jersey to take on the Devils. So hoping to get revenge for what happened in Philadelphia when the Devils got that OT victory. So, gents, looking into up ahead, what do you think will be the Flyers' keys against Washington and Detroit, and then hitting the road for next Tuesday to go up against the Devils?
They just have to be patient against Detroit. Detroit makes a lot of mistakes with the puck defensively. So they're going to give you opportunities. So, just don't get careless and get caught up in odd man rushes because they got a lot of guys who can put the puck in the net and just be smart.
Why was there a penalty called?
I don't see it.
Where did he? He must have barely clipped him because I didn't even see his stick touch his helmet.
He grazed the side of the helmet. You saw it move very, very nonchalantly, but it was a very tic-tac call.
Oof.
But he did make contact.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one that I think the ref should have just let go a little bit because it didn't. That's one I would have let go. Okay, well the Flyers are going to get a chance to test their PK again.
But back to your question, Maddie. I agree with a team like Detroit. You definitely want to be patient. You definitely don't want to turn the puck over. So you want to maintain possession as much as you can, especially now that they have Patrick Kane and he's been showing signs that he hasn't lost a step and he's healthy again. I think he rang the post a couple times just in that first period against St. Louis tonight. That's the other thing. You definitely want to stay out of the box against Detroit because they can do some damage, even without Larkin. But that's going to be key is puck possession there.
Now, Detroit will cough up the puck. I mean, that's the thing. They're very aggressive and they get caught up in odd man rushes. Flyers just have to be patient, play smart, and they're going to get their opportunities.
Right.
And I am not sold on Ville Husso. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's not. I don't think he's the guy.
Interesting. So what do you think about with Detroit? We see on that. What about Washington? Well, how would the Flyers? What do you think the Flyers would have to do Thursday night against the Capitals?
I think there you almost flip the script, right? I think you really pride yourself on this aggression. They've been really aggressive in the neutral zone. You've seen it from Travis Sanheim, where he really clogs up the neutral zone, takes care of his defensive responsibility, but instead of peeling back, has his head up looking into the offensive zone, creating plays. I think that's what you really need to do and take advantage of a Washington team that is older and slower. So use your speed.
Right. Right, I do agree with that because you can do that as long as you're aggressive and you play fast. You should be fine. Careful with the turnovers, obviously, but definitely if they do that, they could get results they want. And then the final one for the game we will be live reacting to on Tuesday. Might as well give a quick preview of that. What about the Devils? You're going to be playing in the Prudential Center this time, so you've already faced them once in Philly. Went to overtime. You had to fight hard to get it to overtime. What do you want to do to get a better result?
They've been a hot team. That's going to be a tough game. Don't get behind.
Yeah.
So score first, okay?
Score first. Yeah. Score first and do not commit penalties. I think their power play is like 37% this year, isn't it?
Jesus.
Yeah, no, their power play has been sensational this year.
Need to be disciplined. Don't take dumb penalties. And maybe try to, use Sean Couturier the way this team has in the past, and that's to take away the opponent's best player in Jack Hughes.
True.
Now they got Nico Hersher back.
Oh, and whatever you do, don't touch anybody with the last name Hughes on the jersey, or the refs are automatically going to give you a penalty, a match penalty too. Don't even sneeze on them.
If you sneeze on them, you're going to get a 2-minute. You're going to get a 5-minute major.
Right.
For high snotting.
Yes, for high snotting.
Yeah. Another dad joke.
The Devils fans say next week you guys are going to be in the meat grinder. We'll see. And historically speaking, just saying, the Devils and Flyers have been good in each other's buildings. So historically speaking, the Flyers should get a win here. Anyway, with that being said, that takes care of the third period. We head to overtime and going around the league. That is brought to you by our good friend, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. If you got any aches and pains, call the doc. Make sure that you're taken care of because you don't want to keep those aches and pains bothering you. All right, guys. So on to our around the league. What's the main things we wanted to bring up, gentlemen? Who's got something for us?
2 quick hitters, man. Looking forward to tonight's battle between number 1 picks in Connor McDavid and Bedard. Chicago, Edmonton, 10 p.m. tonight. That should be a doozy. And looking back at another fine player in this league, Sharks Logan Couture, who hasn't played a game this season due to a lower body injury and feared his career might have been over after his latest setback. He's actually showing improvement and beginning to skate on his own. There's no timetable for a return yet, but at least it's more probable now for one of the league's best players.
Right. A Flyers fan did say, if Bedard continues to struggle in Chicago, do you send him down to the AHL like what happened to Shane Wright?
I mean, he's not really struggling.
He's not struggling. He's not struggling. The team stinks, but he's played pretty well.
You got to stick with them. I mean, you see it with the Flyers, how they've stuck with Tyson Forster, and now he's really finding the scoring touch. From what I've seen from Bedard, I'm seeing him do all the little things.
Right.
The results will come.
Right. Just be patient. So, besides that, any other major things we wanted to talk about in around the league?
I got a couple things real quick. One is the Washington Capitals come 2028 will not be at the Verizon Center any longer. They will be playing in Alexandria, Virginia. Moving out of DC and moving to Northern Virginia. Groundbreak, I believe they said, is going to be officially announced tomorrow in 2025. Moving the Washington Capitals out of DC and into Northern Virginia into Alexandria.
Wow.
That is interesting. Very interesting.
And Brad brought up Dylan Larkin's injury. Obviously, a nasty one. I haven't gotten any info on how long he's going to be out or anything like that. But David Perron has been suspended 6 games for cross-checking Artem Zub. Shortly after that, cross-checked him in the head. He's going to try to appeal it, but I don't think it's going to get appealed. That was a nasty cross-check to the side of the head there. And one last thing for me is Kyle Connor will be missing the next 6 to 8 weeks due to a knee injury suffered in the game against the Anaheim Ducks on Sunday.
Oh,
You can forget about Winnipeg now.
That's a rough loss for the Jets. Oh,
Yeah, that's a killer. They don't have enough They don't have enough offense to offensive depth to be able to.
Unless Hellebuck has some Vesna performances in him. That's a rough one. An offside called there.
Sheffiely's going to have to score a heck of a lot of goals.
Yeah, he'll have to be the new Kyle Connor for now.
Yeah.
And I did look it up. Alexandria is only 19 minutes away from Washington, D.C., so it's not that far of a travel if you are a Capitals fan. So I was just curious to see the distance.
It's the first city in Virginia.
Gotcha. I did not know that. So I was just curious to see. Anyway, so any other major around the league we wanted to talk about? No.
That's all I got.
All right, then. So that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We thank everybody for joining us and everybody out there in the fam chiming in, talking about the expansion cities and talking about the Flyers and the Nashville Predators right now, as well as the Midwest trip and the future matchup with the Devils that we will be having a chance to live react to. So we will see you guys when that happens next week. Until then, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy out there. We are, of course, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Give the doc a ring or, well, go online. That's the better way to go. So that way you can avoid the aches and pains. And I'm just going to leave this up here for you guys to show how you could become an A2D member. So please take a look into that and get that $9.99 ready to go. All right, guys, we thank you for joining us. We will see you next week right here on the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. Until then, peace and love, everybody.
Let's go Flyers. Comeback time.
Yeah.